Every year, John hosts a men's retreat called Prophecy of the Pung. John invited me out so I could get a chance to tell everybody about it. And I just got to say, John put on a masterclass of a weekend. Everybody had a great time, really connected with a part of ourselves that it's really just hard to access in day-to-day life, connect with a bunch of other guys. So we all flew into Cleveland, and when we got there, we were given a treasure map, and it led us to this unincorporated patch of land right next to a Marriott by the airport. It's like a piece of land like next to a highway. John was sitting there in a lawn chair, and there was a bunch of shovels. He's like, all right, everybody, we're just going to get to know each other, and I want you guys to each dig a hole that's about the size of your own body. We're kind of giddy. We're thinking, oh man, are we going to be digging ourselves graves? Like, what's going on? We're cracking jokes. And John's like, no, it's nothing like that. Don't worry. John had some waters and some snacks. He was just real cool. He was playing music out of his phone. Could all listen to, and we were all just kind of like cutting up, kind of introducing ourselves to each other, getting to know each other. And he was just really helpful. He would come around and be like, how tall are you? Are you like 5'10"? Probably make that hole like 6 foot, maybe like 6'2", about 3 feet deep. And listen, John wasn't afraid to pick up a shovel and start digging and helping out.
Not at all.
No. So he got sweaty with the rest of us. So we're all having a good time, liking where this is headed. So we head into the Marriott and we get a conference room. And there's a bunch of chairs in a circle facing away from a chair in the center. And John sat in the center. And he had everybody one by one go around and just open up about all sorts of sexual deviancy. And he really encouraged us to dig deep and to talk about the things in our sexual past that were most uncomfortable for us, and to spare no detail, and to be as hard on ourselves as we possibly could be. And so everybody's going around. Some people, he was like, okay, stop, go ahead, you can leave, go next door. Other people, he's like, okay, you stay. So we went around the whole room, and like about half of us went next door. And as soon as I walked into this room next door, I realized what was happening. And it was one of those like focus group rooms where you could like see through the two-way mirror into this conference room where John was having us tell our sexual stories. The two-way mirror room was amazing. We walk in there's a bunch of cold cuts, a bunch of Italian style bread.
It's Jimmy John's, yeah.
Oh, you got Jimmy John's. Yeah, that's what it was.
We got Jimmy John's catered.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's actually really nice.
He catered, whatever it was delicious. I must have ate 2 or 3 sandwiches, and you could like make your own. There was a keg there of Bud Light. There was a whole bunch of pills on the table, just like a bunch of different medications. A bunch of like they had different. A bunch of them had his like family members' names on them, so like he obviously swiped them from his family's houses. Blood pressure medication, stuff like that. But there were some good ones in there. There's like Vicodin and expired. This is all expired, like leftover from a surgery somewhere. So just some really good stuff. So he's, we're in there getting loopy and just watching everybody tell their sexual stories. And what we realize is John's sitting there in his underwear, tighty whities. He's got his dick out of the hole in the tighty whities, and he's just like staring down at his dick. And as soon as somebody's story makes him hard, he sends them to the room next door. If it doesn't make them hard, he has them stay. Right? So he sends everybody out. The ones that made it to the room next door, we're just in there cutting up and partying. The ones that stay, he sends them out to the unincorporated land where they dug the hole, and they have to sleep outside. Mind you, he's taken all of our cell phones. He's taken all of our credit cards and cash and everything. So we've got nothing. So they've got no choice but to sleep in these holes because they can't get a hotel room. One guy pussied out and asked a stranger to use his phone and called his wife to come pick him up. We were throwing so much shit at that guy out of the window. Anyways, his wife gets him out of there, and we're just we go up to the suite in the hotel room. We're just partying. John is making, he called them Pung bombs. And it's like a throat coat, like lidocaine. I don't know what it's called, but something that like numbs your throat when you have like a sore throat. And he puts 2 shots of Fireball in there, shot of Bacardi 151, and a little bit of like a menthol cough syrup or something. It's like It's like a fire and ice thing going on. So the first one goes down kind of rough, but after that, your whole throat is completely numb. So you can just slam these things. It was awesome. I probably was lucid maybe like an hour into it, and then the rest is just patchy. John made two guys kiss. I remember that. I remember we were watching a lot of cable TV. We were watching Expendables, and we just kind of like fell asleep wherever we wanted. Next day, same thing. John brought in the guys from outside. Now, they had like pillows and blankets and stuff, so they weren't really rough in it. And he did the same thing. A couple guys made the cut. A couple guys had to go back outside. We just spent the whole weekend just getting extraordinarily fucked up. Guys were fighting. One guy slammed another guy's head through one of those wall safes, and John was just sitting there on a lazy boy watching everything happen. He didn't flinch. He didn't move. Don't remember anything. Missed my flight. Had to take a red-eye Greyhound back to DC. But I felt very rejuvenated. I felt very at peace with myself.
Did you learn anything, you think?
I learned a lot. I learned that guys from all walks of life can come together and connect. Like, there were guys who were assistant managers at a bank branch. There were guys who led a team of account representatives at a marketing agency. There were guys who were project managers at a organization that finds different place for cellular towers. Just guys from all different walks of life come together. I made friends that I'll probably have forever. Like, these guys would just lay down in the middle of the road for me now.
Because you've been through something together.
Exactly, because we were been through something really powerful together. So, yeah, I learned a lot about myself. What I learned too is John just puts on a flawless weekend. If you ever get a chance to attend one of these things, as Prophecy of the Pung things, it's really incredible.
Welcome to the Fantasy Cast podcast, where three grown men pass the time by sharing their deepest, darkest fantasies. Here we go.
I wish you could have stayed for day 3. It was the day 3 I would play Manhunt. You know what I mean? Just like you do like as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, everyone got a hunt for everyone. So we've got one guy, send him out, tell him to hide. 20 other guys looking for him. I know where he's hiding because I put him there. And so they run out. 20 dudes. It's dark. We're on like probably 12 acres of land, heavily wooded. I have their cell phones. So as they're playing, I spend about 2 hours going through their cell phones. I pull out any nude photos I can find of their wives.
Yeah.
I save them, put it into my computer, create a slideshow. When the guy's found, I come out. Everyone comes out. Drums. Got my drummers come out. Start a fire. We dance. I do a slideshow. It's all pictures of pussy. And I hand everyone, give them a gift certificate.
Yeah.
To Costco, BJ's, $50. I hand them each a pocket pussy.
Yeah.
Like a cheap, like just a little thing.
Yeah.
It's a little thing.
Because none of them
Burner.
They don't jerk off at my retreat. That's a no-no. Can't jerk off at my retreat. And I say, that's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go do what you want. So a lot of guys just party. Some guys just go off into the woods and jack off. I return their phones and call their wives, call their kids.
Yeah. That's this is what I'm talking about. That's a great way to wrap this thing up, bring everybody together.
A little fun.
Yeah, a little fun. Just let it all just kind of sink in around a fire,
Yeah.
One of the parts that I really liked about it is when one of the guys was like, hey, let's go down to the Bennigans and try to pick up some girls and bring them back here. And a couple of guys were like, yeah. And John fucking flips out. He flips the table over. Pills go everywhere. And he's like, "You're not fun. You're not ready. You're not ready to take that leap. Did you learn anything? What we've been talking about today about the Pung? You're not ready. The Pung's not something to be conquered or to be beat up or to be tapped out.
Gotta cherish it.
You got to cherish it. We're not just gonna go. You're not gonna walk. I can't send you out into the woods unprepared. You're liable to die like that out there, and your life is in my hands."
Sounds like you're like you realign their perspective.
That's the goal. And some guys are just lost, you know.
Yeah.
You can't win them. You can't win them all. If I can send one guy home
Mhm.
that shows his wife a little bit of respect,
Mm-hmm.
it's worth it. It's worth the $6,000 they pay me for the 3-day retreat
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not
in
cheap.
Cleveland. It ain't cheap. And the fall retreat is even more because we go out to Arizona. And it's 13K.
It's 100 degrees the entire time.
We stay in little yurts. It's cool. Beautiful place, but
There's and in the Arizona one, there's probably about 200 to 500 guys.
there's more guys that bring in I got a team of guys that help me run that whole thing.
I just want to be someone. I guess I just can't agree with like everything you guys say and do. You know, it's hard for me to say this, but I just don't think that these like men's groups are good for fantasizing. I think it kind of homogenizes male fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's bad for the fantasy community. I think that's been going around. I think it's a discussion that needs to be had. And a lot of people are afraid to say what I'm saying right now, but I think that's just becoming a little commercial. It used to be like an organic thing, and now people like John and now you, I guess you're in his pocket, are trying to turn this into you're just trying to make a buck, I guess, which is fine. You're allowed to do that if you want to be that kind of guy. It's just I don't think it's for me. I guess I'm just a little bit just kind of like more of an old school kind of guy.
I think he'd change his mind if he came out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you came out to our San Diego retreat in early spring, you would change your mind. You'd love it.
There's got to be someone that isn't doing it. You know what I mean? If you want to remain on the fringes like I do, you know what I mean? Speaking of perspective, you want to keep your fantasy pure. So I kind of want to keep myself more on the fringes and do like more of like a traveling folksman kind of thing. You know what I mean? Folk singer. Just me and my voice and my stories. You know what I mean?
No, that's important. I think that's why that's why this thing works. You know, it's because we bring a couple different perspectives into it, and you know, like if you saw how hard John works to put these things together, like he's in a lot of cases he's losing money on these retreats. You know, like he might
bet, yeah.
Yeah, he might pull down a ton of cash, but if you talk about like taxes, and then he's got to pay for his daughter's school, and he's got to pay for his mortgage, you know, he's got to buy groceries.
Like I said, I'm not
that.
judging. I'm not judging. I just think that the fantasy culture needs something different. That's all, and I just want to offer that to people.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong and that you shouldn't be doing it. I'm just saying it's not for me, and I want to do something else. You know, more power to you. If it's feeding your family, putting food on the table or whatever, keep salmon on your plate, keep it up. I'm not judging you.
Well, maybe once John can get Costco to sponsor the next one, it'll be a little bit easier for him to make it work.
And feel free to promote it on the podcast if you need to. Whatever. I'm not going to judge you by all means.
Oh, well, that was a great little discussion. I really, again, highly recommend it to anybody who wants to come out to the early spring one. I'm going to be lighting up Reddit with all sorts of promotional material, so just keep your eyes out for that.
Yeah, register. You need to register now if you want to make it to the spring event next year. We are fully booked.
Yeah,
fully booked.
Former Phoenix Suns center Tyson Chandler is going to be there.
we'll be there. And this is, I didn't big surprise, but we might be bringing things over to Europe.
Wow.
Yeah. Summer 2026, we will be in Europe. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to get a beer.
Fuck you and your whole enterprise, you fake fuck.
Do you have a fantasy lined up, Mike? Or are you just gonna go off the dome?
I got a little starting point. Maybe you can help me out.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just kind of.
No, I appreciate it. Let me see what I got here. Tell me, guys, if you know what this is from. Like they do in the porno movies. Name it. What is it?
That is Justin Timberlake and the Guru.
Nathan?
I don't know. Is it
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yeah.
Alpha?
I thought it was Zohan.
Oh, Zohan.
Don't mess with the Zohan. I could be wrong, actually. It could be the Guru.
I
You might
think
be
it's. I think it is.
Wait, I thought the Guru was Mike Myers.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake.
Oh, wow, I got it all mixed up. I remember it totally different. I only saw the trailer.
That's all I saw too. But I remember we used to say that all the time.
Just over and over again in a scorching hot apartment with no air conditioning. I just kept saying this over and over again. Just thinking of Justin Timberlake, thinking he's so funny. He does this.
Oh yeah. It's the love.
He does a stupid accent.
What a stupid fuck he is.
That dude needs to get a cinder block to the side of his head.
Just a fucking bullet in his temple.
Okay, I got a couple more.
All right.
I want my son back. What's that from?
Wait, say it again.
I want my son back.
The Ben Affleck movie?
Mm-mm.
No.
Is it from Waterboy?
No. Changeling, Angelina Jolie.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, one more. I want proof of life.
Oh, easy. Proof of life. Russell Crowe. Proof of life.
Okay, I have a fantasy that I've been working on. I go to the apple orchard with my 2 kids. I'm Jewish. I look like Sean Penn from Carlito's Way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at the apple orchard. And we could do all the apple orchard stuff. And then I'm like, you know what? We drove all the way the fuck out here. I'm hungry. I'm going to have some barbecue. And while my daughters and wife are on like a hayride, I'm sitting down with some barbecue at a barbecue stand that's inside of this place they set up at the apple orchard. And there's a band tuning up. And I'm just sitting there just looking at my phone or whatever. Like the guitar is warming up and he plays like something out of Black Sabbath. And I look at him and I give him the devil horns. I'm like, all right, man, cool. And the guitarist looks at me, starts playing it some more. You know what I mean? And he keeps trying to mouth the words, but he's like, I can't remember the words. I can't remember. He's basically inviting me up on stage. Okay. And I'm like, he's teasing me. I have barbecue sauce all over my face. I'm eating this sandwich and it's so good. I keep going, this is so good. You know, gesturing, pointing to it and saying, this is good. And he's like, I can't remember the words. You know what I mean? It's very flirty. Then he starts singing the song wrong. And then I'm like, all right, you got me. You know, really cornily. I put my BBQ pork sandwich down and I wipe my hands on my napkin and I fold it up and I put it in front of me. And I go up there and we just do a bunch of songs. We do Black Sabbath. We do a Led Zeppelin song. We do a ZZ Top. And we're pretty good, and we're things are gelling. And I'm like, you guys like any like punk music or something like that? And we do some punk songs. We do a Ramones song, and then we do a Black Flag song, and we do a My Chemical Romance. Mm-hmm. And then we basically are like, I think we got a good thing going. We go on tour, just like that. We're just like, this is happening. I'm kind of like unemployed at that time, and I'm just having the time of my life. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
People are coming out. We're opening up for people. But people are liking us. We're coming out, and I just I started doing more and more cocaine, like backstage. It's like there's just like a lot of these shows. They have a lot of drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. I get addicted to cocaine, and I do just start acting like the lawyer from Carlito's Way. Like I start jumping to the audience and like attacking people and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And that's it. That's the end of the fantasy. That's all I got. I just thought it'd be funny to have Sean Penn's character just like hurting people. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, I get into the audience. I get into a fight in the audience, and like I accidentally like elbow a woman in the face, and the crowd jumps on stage and they take the microphone from me, and they just won't give it back to me.
Mhm.
And the guitarist, that's like how I lose the gig, and then they go on the rest of the tour without me. That's it. That's all I got.
Which
It's not a very good one.
no, I think
It's pretty good.
I think it's really good. I mean, I think we've all had that.
It's more just the image of Sean Penn, the Sean Penn character, just like sweating. You know when he's flipping out in the movie?
Yeah.
I think he like lunges at someone on a couch or at a club or something. It's
Yeah.
funny to me. I don't know.
You read that interview with him?
No, he's like threatening people's lives, like left
He's
and
just
right and stuff like that.
saying he's just talking crazy. Like talked about Will Smith wouldn't have been able to slap Chris Rock if Zelensky was president of the United States or something. It's like just weird shit.
He said he was gonna kill everyone at the Oscars if Zelensky wasn't allowed to talk.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
shit
he's
like
nuts.
that. I love to see it.
His body's still really tight for some fucking reason. I don't understand why. He's jacked.
Hey Mike, which ZZ Top songs you guys play?
Just the hits. Cheap Sunglasses. Yeah, She's Got Legs. What's your favorite ZZ Top song?
I was gonna say, isn't that song? It's like oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called.
That's a good one.
No, it's a great fantasy. I mean, it's a rock and roll
It
fantasy.
needs work. It's just flat. You know, it's like sometimes you like think something's gonna develop. It's just not happening. I can't get it up today. I don't need to dwell on it. Maybe yeah, like the topics are I'm like 40 years I'm like 40 years old, but all the topics are like really like middle class kind of like issues that I'm concerned with, like sexual assault at concerts and
Yeah, there's a lot of
maybe bullies or like selling out, like stuff like that, like having a friend who's sad or something.
I pictured like once your band kicks you out, you start a new band, and that's what like all it's like a big.
But how do we fold sex into them?
But check this out. It's like a little bit too late reaction to Woodstock '99 documentaries that came out. You know, and you're talking about like just like rock culture, you know, and you cater to a an unreasonably younger fan base, you know, and try to
it doesn't make sense because I'm like so old,
and
like,
you try to
ugly.
present yourself in like the most desperate ways possible to be like in your early 20s, but as soon as and you can pull it off kind of until people see you in person. You know.
Yeah, I'm like usually wearing like a mask. Or
yeah, you're wearing
like a gimmick, like a really like scary looking mask, and you realize I'm like bald and really old. But is that a fantasy? I mean, let's talk more. I mean, shouldn't we be fantasizing about being different people? You know, I noticed that none of you guys have ever fantasized about being a different race, and I just think that's suspicious. I'm sorry for calling you guys out so much, but I think someone needs to stir the pot here.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is that you guys never do that?
You write about what you know. You know.
Why would I want to be something else?
Yeah, I'm me. You know, I'm in the skin.
I'm John. I'm just John.
Yeah, the skin I'm in.
That's cool. All right, one of you guys go.
I didn't really have one, but I was thinking about how tattoo shops are so, they're so common now that they'll be like next to a Chase Bank, or like be like next to a Starbucks. And I was thinking about being a tattoo artist and giving people invisible ink, like while I'm tattooing them. So like if someone comes in and wants like, if a kid comes in and wants like a tattoo that says like loose lips sink ships, I just automatically put a swastika inside of his tattoo.
Yeah.
And it's like a glow in the dark one. So like he won't know about it for years, and then he's in like a club or something like that, and someone sees the swastika on his arm, and he'll be attacked. I can also use it to let their girlfriends know that he has a swastika tattoo, and then I can have sex with them.
Okay.
And that's all. That's it. That was all.
So you would
I would destroy.
You keep tabs on them. See what relationships they're in.
And I'm also just, setting them up to possibly be beaten up at a later date. I don't even need to see it.
You own them.
I own them. And they don't know I did it, really. I mean, they do, but...
I like the idea of you writing love letters to their girlfriends in invisible ink. That
like
they can...
massive amount of text in someone's...
Yeah, and like the back of somebody's tricep that they can't readily see, but like their girlfriend would see it in bed. Not while fucking, but just like, like they go to sleep, the lights go off, and they see a glow in the dark message, and you're like, Crystal, this is John. I gave your boyfriend his tattoo. I think you're better than him. I think you...
Brad's a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's like a really fucking bad guy.
He was telling me.
I didn't know how to tell you this.
Yeah,
He's so bad.
I was going to email you, but I decided this would be a better way to do it.
Yeah. The stuff
you need to leave him. He's a really, really fucking bad guy. I'm serious.
Did you say you need to delete him?
And you leave your phone number on there.
Yeah.
Not even your phone number. You leave your Instagram on there. And
it's like my Instagram handle. There's like an email address.
Yeah. And you just have those all over town.
Yeah, I kept thinking about how girls, like, everyone keeps getting little fucking dots on their fingers, little tattoos. What is that?
They always look they always bleed a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're like...
But it's always like a really cutesy person that does it, And I was just thinking about just filling each knuckle would have a little swastika on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Really,
yeah.
It's like a time bomb waiting to go off for somebody to get their ass kicked.
Here's a concept I've been thinking about. Maybe you guys can chew on this, spit something back at me. A young couple gets tested by temptations at Burning Man. Can you imagine how much temptation there is in there?
Yeah.
That'd be a lot.
I mean, you take two straight-laced people, take them to Burning Man, they're going to see things, they're going to be tempted in ways they never thought they would be.
Here's what I initially imagined. There's a guy and a girl that go to Burning Man, and they're pretty straight-laced, button-down people, and they just think it's going to be like a wild time. But they're relatively committed to each other.
It's not just going to be a wild time. It's Burning Man.
Yeah, it's Burning Man. And the girl gets like the collective mind, the hive mind of Burning Man builds a cage around the girl with those like erector set things.
Okay.
And they just fucking run her boyfriend through in front of her repeatedly. Like every guy in the place just has a turn with him.
Yeah.
And he's just too entranced by the whole vibe and energy to
Okay, that happens to the guy.
Yeah.
And then
and
to
she
the
has
girl,
to watch, and she's stone cold
she has to watch stone cold sober. She walks away. She meets a French guy.
Ooh.
Okay. And he shows her things she's never seen before.
Okay.
She's like, he's like, have you ever been in two places at once? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it'll be like, he'll take her to a compass that's like someone wrote on the floor, and he'll put his foot on the E. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait, never E. Yeah, he'll put his right foot on the E, and his other foot on the W, and he's like, look down. She looks down. He's like, you're in two places at once right now. You know what I mean? Doesn't like quite make sense, but she's like taken by it anyways.
He does really basic magic tricks.
Go on.
Really basic magic tricks in like but in like a cryptic context. Pick a card, put it back. Was this your card? Yes. It is 7 of spades.
Yeah.
Seven is the number that comes up in a transcendental state, or some shit like that.
And she's just totally taken by this card. This card trick. Was your card number 7? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Women love that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's definitely a part where he throws up dust in the air, and it sprinkles down, and the light catches it in a way. It's like glitter.
Yeah. And I imagine she's got a little chip on her shoulder because her boyfriend that she brought there while he was getting run through by the entire festival, he started to get into it.
Yeah, definitely.
And he started just embracing everything.
He's like trying to get guys to finish up and stuff, giving them eye contact, caressing their faces, and talking dirty to them and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's coaching guys who can't get it up. He's like tantalizing them so they can get hard to fuck him.
Yeah, do you want me to act more like this? Should I be more like that? What are you into?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So she gets out of her like erector set cage, and she's just staggering around that place just in a daze, and she meets this French guy.
Yeah, and they have sex, and he's just really charismatic.
Yeah.
And then they meet up afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
They both look at each other, and maybe the relationship needed that.
Yeah.
Because they probably had some problems about being buttoned up or being unable to find the magic and stuff, and they go home and they're better for it. And that's just like another, what is it called? Burning Man. That's what Burning Man does. You burn a part of yourself off.
Yeah. He's crawling back to the tent.
His legs don't work.
His legs don't work. Not for any like
the nerve damage.
Yeah. Not for any kind of like penetration reason, but just because he's been standing, crouching. Yeah, he's just tired. His legs are tired. And so he's crawling back. He's like, you know when you do that like military crawl where you just like pull yourself by your arms? He crawls back into the tent and he's like, I'm fucking sorry. I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And they embrace.
It's always been a fantasy of mine.
To apologize in that way?
No, break in someone's house and just kill the whole family. Just murder the whole family. Chase them around with a chainsaw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take them down one by one with a chainsaw, cut their limbs off.
Yeah.
And then just watch them bleed out, watch their terror, watch them bleed out. And then like do this like four or 5 times. and I get caught finally, and
Yeah.
then I'm just bragging about it to the police officers. You know what I mean? I like to watch the blood. I like seeing the blood come out.
I like that. I picture breaking into a house and like, you know, stealing, putting a bunch of stuff in like his pillowcase, and like while the family's asleep, and then I just have a crisis of conscience, and I wake the guy up, the mom and the dad up. And I'm like, I'm fucking sorry. I broke into your house. I took all your fucking shit. I'm fucking so fucking stupid. I'm so stupid. Here.
What did they do?
They don't know what to make of it. Like the wife is like, come here, come, and like her maternal instinct kicks in, and she's like, oh, come here. You didn't know any better. You're under a lot of stress. You probably needed this stuff the money to survive. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I didn't need any of this stuff. And the dad starts lecturing me. He's like, see, this is what happens when you take your eye off the ball. You know, you lose focus in your life, and you find yourself in situations that you didn't think that you would be in. This is a perfect example. I hope you can learn from this.
This is like a parent fantasy.
Yeah.
I thought it would be cool to be in a situation where, like, you're kidnapped by terrorists, and your parents, the police won't do anything. Your parents break into the mall or whatever and just kill all these terrorists and rescue you. How cool would that be?
That'd be awesome.
Mommy, daddy.
Yeah. Like when the smoke clears and you see it's your mom and dad.
Yeah, it just doesn't hit right though.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I also imagine while this like dad is lecturing me, he takes me down to his like workshop, and I help him fix his shop vac. And he's like, see, now you can pick one thing out of that pillowcase full of stuff that you stole because you earned it. You earned it with some hard work.
What do you take?
I take a necklace that belonged to his mom.
Diamond on it.
Yeah.
The most valuable thing.
Yeah, the most valuable things.
It's like $100,000.
Right. But he's okay with it because he changed my life. And, you know, that's the fantasy is I walk out of there. I've got a blanket around my shoulders, and with a hangdog expression, I just walk to the bus stop.
You picked the right house.
Yeah.
Since you guys own homes now, do you have fantasies about people breaking in and what you would do what you would do to them?
Yeah, I've got my uncle passed away relatively recently, and he had just like a fuckload of guns, and they left them all with my cousin, and my cousin's like, do you want any of these? And I'm like, I don't know what I would do with these. He's like, well, just here, take a look. And I see this big Bowie knife. It's like Rambo style Bowie knife. I'm like, I'll take that. You know, so I get the Bowie knife, and I have that in my drawer next to my bed. You know, that's my protection. I usually either baseball bat or something next to my bed.
Yeah, I have a baton.
But I think about this. Would I actually be able to stick that in somebody?
I think it'd be easier to shoot someone than it would be to stab them.
You got to get up close. You have to really have that killer instinct.
Even hitting someone's head with a baseball bat would feel fucking crazy.
Yeah. Be way easier to shoot somebody. Way more detached.
I would sooner put a shotgun in someone's mouth and blow their head off than stab them with a little knife. Ugh,
yeah. I'd rather have them perform for me and dance for me at gunpoint.
Right.
Yeah, than have to like slit their throat or something.
Show hole.
Yeah, you pull a gun on them, they freeze.
Uh-huh.
And you're immediately like, it's playtime. You know what I mean? And they know they fucked up.
I know.
You picked the right house. I've got a quick fantasy I want to lay on you guys. I was watching this guy on an electric scooter just scooting down the street.
Oof.
And
what kind?
I can't remember, but it was like, you know, one of those.
Yeah, with handles. It wasn't one of those like just unicycle ones.
I've seen those a lot, but this guy had one with handles, and it was his primary mode of transportation. And I was thinking about, you know, those guys that are like gadget guys. Like they always have to have like the new gadget. So I'm one of those guys. And I've got like an e-bike before they became big. I've got like a electric. I got a Tesla like right when it came out. I always get the new like iPhone gadget. I'm just one of those guys, and I love talking about it, and I love showing people all the features at work and everything. And I'm just really addicted to just buying shit off of Instagram. Like they know how to advertise like little gadgets to me. And I come across one. It's like a nanobot. It's like a microscopic robot. And the advertisement is like, you can see inside your own body. You can literally go inside your own body. You can see what it looks like inside of your heart. You can literally clear out blockage. How satisfying is this? You can clear out blockage from your own heart with this nanobot. And I'm like, this seems kind of like, I don't want to put something I got off Instagram in my body. But the advertisement just keeps going. And I'm particularly depressed one day and looking for something to purchase. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll get it and see what happens. So I order it. It comes. The instructions say I have to stick it up my ass in order to get it into my body. It like comes in a capsule. So I lube it up. I stick it up my ass. The capsule dissolves and it's in there, and it's linked to like an app on my phone. So I'm like, this is cool. I'm driving it around my intestine. I see a piece of bubble gum in there. I'm like, I can't even remember the last time I swallowed bubble gum. I don't know how long that thing's been in there. So I'm having a good time with it. I drive it down and it gets lodged in my prostate. And I'm like, this feels good. I don't know what's going on down there, but this feels good. So I just start driving it into my prostate, and it feels better and better.
You ram up the speed and everything.
Yeah, I just ramp it up to full speed. It's just the thing is like turning around and just keeps like bumping up against my prostate, and I bust. I spray, and I'm like, that was fucking good, and it's still going round and round. And like stimulating it, and I'm like, after you rope, it's like kind of sensitive, and you don't want anything to really touch down there. Yeah. So I go to turn it off, and it doesn't turn off, and it just keeps going and going, and like I go to turn it off, it just doesn't turn off. So I'm like freaking out, and I call tech support, and it's just like someplace in Bangladesh. Like nobody gets back to me. It's just like an email address and like a web form. Nobody gets back to me. I'm like, fuck. So this thing's just going and going. I get hard again. I come. I get hard again. I come. And it's kind of like exciting, but I'm also really worried because I'm like, how the fuck how long is this thing going to go? So I look online and I realize that it's powered by like the salts from your body, So like the more blood and stuff that rushes to an area of your body, that's how it gets powered. So it's this like feedback loop of the more blood that rushes down there, the faster this thing goes, So it's just like ramping up. I'm constantly coming. I go to the doctor's office and I'm walking around like this. I'm like, oh fuck. Oh fuck. Holy fuck. Like I'm making those little noises as I'm just like talking like, I gotta go see. Oh god, I gotta see this. Oh god, I gotta see this doctor about this problem I have with my fucking prostate. And so the doctor looks at me. They put a thing up there to see it, and they're like, it's microscopic. We can't really see it, but this is crazy. We've never seen anybody perpetually coming. So we've got to assume that what you're telling us is the culprit. We've got a couple different options. It's clearly not going to run out of steam because it's been like a week already. So your only other option is like targeted radiation, which is going to completely irradiate your nutsack, but it will kill this nanobot that's making you constantly come. I'm like, I can't do that, doc. Oh, I can't do that. I'd rather just ride this thing out, go out like a hero. And the doctor's like, if we don't get this thing out of you, you're going to die. Your heart can't take this constantly coming. It's just going to burst. And I'm like, I don't fucking care, doc. I can't risk my nutsack. I'd rather go out blasting to have my shit irradiated. So I'm in the hospital room on life support, and my story gets out there. Like all my friends and family start like a GoFundMe and becomes like a big internet sensation. And there's just like people from all over the world traveling and they're outside of the hospital and they're like cheering me on, and hoping that I get better. And meanwhile, I just can't, I can't stop coming, I know the end is near, and I wheel myself out to the front of the hospital, and there's like people around me like, shh, quiet, he's gonna say something. And I'm like, my time on this earth is coming to a close, but I just wanted to use the last final days I have alive to offer my cum to anybody that thinks that they can benefit from it. I want to give, in my final days, give back to the world. And everybody's like, oh, that's just so sweet. And so like medical students need like cum for studies that they're doing, people who want to get pregnant, sex freaks who just want to fuck around with somebody else's cum. So there's just like a line of people, basically like I'm just spraying out cum, and they're just coming and either collecting in it or basking in it, whatever the case may be. And there's like a candlelight vigil. And I just like, I have one last cum and my heart stops and I just slowly pass peacefully. I'm a saint. People hail me as a saint because I spent my last days on earth trying to help people, help people have kids, help medical science, help freaks get off. That's it. So it's kind of like it's a sex fantasy, but it's also a death fantasy.
That was
That's
good.
It. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to mention
Oh.
they did an autopsy on me and they realized that the nanobot wasn't even turned on the whole time.
It was a placebo.
Yeah, it was. I just never turned it on. Do you have a death fantasy, Mike?
Yeah, I do. I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm in Greece in this fantasy. You know what I mean? I'm looking at all this ancient stuff, and I see some graffiti on the wall. Some graffiti. I'm just so fascinated by it, and I just start researching it, and I become like I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get my doctorate here on street art, some bullshit university, and I start studying. I start giving tours of like Greek graffiti, and it all looks like total shit. It's the stupidest stuff you've ever seen, but I'm just like really passionate about it. It's just like a way to stay in Greece and not go back to my family. I get a divorce at this time.
What are some of the graffitis you see?
It's just like stuff that just could have been from 1994 or something. You know what I mean? It's just like it's the same. You've seen it once, you've seen it a million times. And I meet someone who's American studying abroad, and I have a Greek accent now. And she mentions like American stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I know what that is. You know what I mean? She keeps mentioning like really American things like ZZ Top. That one guy who owns like a basketball team and he has like a little bowl haircut. She mentions Mark Cuban. I'm like, oh yeah, the guy looks like he has like little boy bangs stapled to the front of his face. Basically, I end up going back to America. I just wanted to rag on a Greek graffiti for some reason. It was in my notes. I want to knock it out. I go back to America. Okay, and we're in a relationship. We live in the burbs. And me and this woman start playing sexual chicken with each other. And you're thinking, what does that mean? What is sexual chicken? It's where you actually don't sleep with someone and you play sexual chicken with them. Like, for example, I'll get completely naked and she'll be like, okay, it's time. We're finally going to have sex. And then she'll go in the bathroom, to freshen up. By the time she gets back, I'm fully dressed and like tiling the floor or something, doing something extremely unsexual.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick because, I want to bust too, but I can't. There's just no release for me. She starts doing the same thing. She'll go into the backyard and not wear underwear and tease like the neighbor, get the neighbor all horny and stuff. You know what I mean? She's sitting in a lawn chair and has a hose just set to just spray like up and into her private parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's basically just holding a hose with her feet as it's spraying into her private parts. And she's like making eye contact with the neighbor
Yeah.
and looking up at me. You know what I mean? Getting me all up into a frenzy. And she signals for me to come downstairs. And she's like yelling at me. She's like, it's time for you to do me in front of the neighbor. You know what I mean? Who looks like Mark Cuban. Just like a sausage man with beady little eyes and like fake blonde hair. And then I go down there and she's got her hands on the chain link fence. And it's just, I've never seen anything more ready to go. I get down there and she just starts hosing me down with the hose. And it's like a really powerful hose. Like it blows me away like a fire hydrant. I like scrape my face on the sidewalk. So like that. Eventually it gets so intense. We're like doing stuff with like in a car, and we get into a car accident. And we both end up in like the hospital next to each other in two beds next to each other. Generous male nurse comes between us and like finds out what's been going on. He gets to the bottom of the story. He's actually narrating the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
He pleasures both of us at the same time as we're dying.
Nice.
With his hands, like Jesus, in a Jesus Christ pose. And we see the light at the same time. The light just gets brighter and brighter in the room.
Yeah.
And it cuts to us, and we're both walking on the beach together for a second, then flashes white.
Yeah, that's a great death. That's a great death fantasy.
Thanks, man.
John, do you have a death fantasy? Like a way you want to go out?
Not really. When am getting blown up? Like,
yeah, that'd be cool.
Like, I don't know, like a stick of dynamite or something, just like quick.
I think it would be cool, John, if you were smoking at a gas station.
Yeah,
and just enjoying a burn, and you just like fucked around and threw it in the wrong place.
Yeah, you do it specifically to traumatize like one person for the rest of their life.
And just
to make them think about their life.
Yeah, and it's like 2 years from now. I'm like 43. It's like I don't have a long life. It's really quick.
Yeah.
I remember Nathan and I worked at a movie theater, and we were all talking about how we would kill ourselves one day. Just passing the time. And this one guy was like, I would wait until it was one of the busiest days at the movie theater. There's like a line like all the way out the door to get popcorn. I would just stick my head in the popcorn machine and shoot myself. That was the funniest shit. It was just like, wants that popcorn so bad. And it's just like, oh, fuck.
Who said that?
This fucking freak dude that used to work there. I forget his name. Weird dude. It might have even been before Nathan's time, actually.
That's a really good image because it's like so contained that it would just like spray on the side of the
yeah, it just ruins the popcorn.
Yeah, all the popcorn just absorb all the blood and brain bits.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I told Aaron, I was like, I somehow inferred without communicating that I just like am waiting to die, sort of, as we all are. Now I'm just kind of like, let's just get this over a little bit.
Yeah,
this isn't a cry for help. I was just like, it was really fun at the time. Yeah, fast forward. Like I'm just running the clock out here.
I feel like that some days. I call them weekdays.
Oh, here's a good idea for a fantasy. Dancing with a woman in a red dress in an empty house. What is that? What's the story there?
What is the story there?
Okay, here's another one. No one's biting on that one. Walking out of a locked room and finding a bunch of laid out women that your brother just had sex with.
Like it's your bedroom and you locked it?
Yeah, I guess he locked you in your room. You come out, your other brother is just, he's gone, and there's just a bunch of women that he had sex with.
Mm.
Yeah. it's just a notion of a fantasy. It's not quite anything.
Well, I tell you what I would do in that situation.
What's up with that?
I would care for them first of all. So like, one of them would be like laying up.
Disgusting. You fucking
Just hear me out. Just hear me out before you judge me. One of them is laying on the floor, and I like gently put a pillow under her head and put a blanket over her. The other one's on the couch, and I take a cat that's sleeping next to her, and I like snuggle it up on her lap, so she's got like a friend, Another one,
she hugs it in her sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Another one's on a lazy boy, and in like a way that laying down in a way that's going to put a kink in her neck, and I just like tilt her neck to the side, and then I cook them all really nice breakfast, have it ready for them. And like, I didn't want to bother you guys, just want to let you guys sleep in. You can run a bath, or I give them all bathrobes, and I just treat them really well. It's like a pathological dynamic that my brother set up where he just creates a bunch of wreckage and I come in and clean it up. And that's where I find purpose and meaning.
It's no sweat to you at all. You would like doing it.
Yeah, I get off on it. Not like in a orgasmic way, but it fills my life with meaning. And I'm just like really cool. Caring towards them and make sure that they they don't feel like used or used up by my brother. They feel like they're validated and cared for.
That's really cool. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
My brother tells me he comes down and he's like, "Hey, could you do me a favor and get them out of here?" And I'm like,
"This is your little brother or older?"
This is my older brother. He's like, "I just fucked 4 girls. They're in my bed. They're sleeping. Could you get them out of here?" So I go upstairs and they're on his water bed, like a king size water bed. And they're all like, there's like some space in the middle, and they're like, there's like 2 girls are like kind of hugging each other. These other girls are just kind of like sprawled out, and I kick the door open, I run in, and I jump right in the middle of the bed, and they just fucking, they get shot out of it.
Yeah.
They all hit the wall. They wake up, and I scream, "Get the fuck out of here!" They take off.
Well, how old are you when this happens?
I'm like 13, 14. Yeah.
Yeah. They're running out of the house.
They're naked.
They're naked, just holding their clothes in front of their private parts.
It's like, it's like a cannonball.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm screaming at them.
Yeah.
And I go downstairs. Go downstairs and play video games with my brother.
Yeah.
Your brother reappears. He thanks you.
Yeah, he's like, "I owe you one."
And also, when you're chasing, like they're leaving, running out of the house, you are yelling at them all the way out into the street, so the whole neighborhood sees.
I stand outside. I'm laughing really hard. I pull out a cigarette and light it, and just.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's when you're 14. Too.
Yeah, I'm young.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes. It ain't shit then.
All right, I gotta go.
What?
It's late for us, Mike. We're an hour ahead.
I'm not done.
You just getting warmed up?
I didn't even do my ad for Good Rancher steak.
Oh, don't lay it on us.
I don't remember what it was. It looked like some like conservative product. That's all I got. I'm dropping the ball here. I'm fucking failing this shit. I ruined this episode. I did. I ruined it. Started off with a horrible fantasy.
It was good.
And I'm just throwing shit at you guys.
You made me.
I got nothing anymore. Nathan's got fully formed shit.
You made me spit out my beer.
I just fucked up. I keep talking about self-harm and stuff.
You talked about
I feel
killing a family with a chainsaw.
I'm just trying to get to I'm just trying to get to fantasies.
You always feel like this, though, Mike. You feel like this after every episode. You're like, man, this wasn't fucking funny. And then you listen to it again and you're like, man, this is good.
Yeah, okay, we'll see. Maybe I'm looking to mess it up. You know what I mean? You don't need to get it. You're not my therapist. Who gives a shit? I'll stop talking.
All right. See you guys.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. Love you guys.
Bye.